Giovanni Mazza's journey on General Hospital began with quiet strings and gentle chords, but within the span of a year, his character Gio has orchestrated a transformation that now demands the full attention of Port Charles. When Mazza debuted on May 15, 2024, he brought to life a shy, unassuming violinist with shaggy hair and a reserved demeanor. For a while, Gio's role in the story seemed ornamental, a gifted musician with a heartwarming backstory and an aura of innocence that stood in stark contrast to the storm of corruption, betrayal, and legacy that defines much of the soap's narrative. But soap operas never leave any character untouched for long. The story took a thunderous turn when the shocking revelation surfaced. Giovanni wasn't just another newcomer trying to find his footing. He was the hidden son of Dante Falconeri and Brooke Lynn Quartermaine. That twist didn't just change his last name, it redefined his identity, his purpose, and his standing in the community. In a single moment, Gio found himself tethered to three of the most powerful and deeply entrenched families in the show's history: the Quartermaines, the Corinthos family, and the Cerullos. With that, Mazza's character stepped into a storm of legacies, expectations, and long-buried secrets. What makes this arc particularly compelling is not just the narrative bombshell, but how Mazza has handled it. There's been a noticeable evolution in his performance, a deepening of nuance that reflects both his character's internal conflict and his own growing mastery of the soap format. Gio is no longer just the sweet violinist from the Arts Center, he's becoming a pillar of conflict, a source of emotional chaos, and potentially, a new leading man. And Mazza is ready. Subtle changes have accompanied the emotional ones. Gone is the youthful mop of hair and playful glances. In its place, we see a more defined, deliberate presentation, one that matches the new weight Gio carries. His eyes now flicker with intensity and uncertainty, mirroring a character who's realizing the world he thought he knew was built on omission and lies. Whether sharing screen time with Tracy Quartermaine or engaging in a quietly combustible exchange with Sonny Corinthos, Gio's presence has grown increasingly magnetic. And then there's Tracy. A generational titan of GH, Tracy Quartermaine, played with ferocity by Jane Elliott, has become one of Gio's fiercest protectors. When Drew Kane, fueled by revenge and resentment, threatened the sanctity of the Quartermaine vault, it wasn't just Tracy who pushed back. Gio, with surprising conviction, stepped up in her defense, unwilling to let anyone desecrate the family's legacy. It was a key moment, not only because it showed his growth, but because it highlighted his loyalty to a family he had only just learned was his own. Tracy, who doesn't hand out affection easily, has found herself strangely drawn to this grandson she never knew, and that thread will likely lead to some of the most emotionally wrenching scenes to come. This intertwining of generations doesn't stop with Tracy. Gio's interactions with Sonny, a man whose complex morality and violent history are well documented, further add dimension. Tracy remains unflinching in her criticism of Sonny's methods and past, yet Gio defends him, not out of naivety but out of genuine gratitude. For Gio, Sonny has been a surrogate protector, perhaps unknowingly filling the void left by his absent father. The tension between Tracy's disdain and Gio's devotion offers fertile ground for ideological clashes and deep character development. The question that now looms is how Gio will navigate the web of deception that surrounded his birth. Brooklyn's silence, Dante's ignorance, and the manipulations from Lois and Gloria form a dangerous cocktail of emotional landmines. How does a young man process the fact that he was kept hidden, passed over, and played like a pawn in a game orchestrated by those who were supposed to love him? The storyline hints that Gio's sweetness could give way to a darker, more disillusioned version of himself. Will he turn on Brooklyn for not telling Dante? Will his relationship with Dante fracture as he realizes that his father, a detective sworn to uncover truths, failed to notice the biggest lie in his own backyard? Or will Gio, heartbreakingly, blame himself, wondering if he was ever truly wanted? And what of Camilla Palmieri, his supposed love interest orchestrated by family scheming? A match that once seemed like innocent young romance is now painted with manipulation and ancestral plotting. The revelation that Lois and Gloria may have engineered the entire thing could devastate Gio's already fragile trust. Will he break free from that relationship entirely, or will the emotional entanglement keep him tethered to someone he suspects was part of a cruel game? Maz's readiness to take on this storm of psychological complexity is evident. There's an electricity in his recent scenes, particularly those with Jason Morgan, that signals a deeper exploration into Gio's psyche. Jason, a character who himself underwent one of the most iconic transformations in soap history, appears almost like a mirror to Gio, a symbol of what happens when innocence is stripped away and replaced with purpose forged in fire. It's impossible not to feel the tension coiling tighter as the storyline unfolds. Gio's arc is no longer just about identity, it's about inheritance. It's about trauma passed down through generations. It's about the lies we tell to protect the ones we love, and the damage we do when those lies are exposed. Each thread leads to a different legacy: the ruthlessness of the Quartermaines, the volatile loyalty of the Corinthos family, the wild unpredictability of the Cerullos. And Gio stands at the center of them all. If handled with the same sensitivity and boldness seen so far, this story has the potential to become a defining saga for General Hospital in this era. It holds the promise of elevating Gio into the pantheon of tragic, complex, unforgettable characters that this show has always done best. Giovanni Mazza, with his newfound intensity and evolving presence, is not just stepping into the spotlight, he's earning it. And as the powder keg of secrets teeters on the edge, fans can only wait for the inevitable explosion that will leave Port Charles forever changed.